If you or someone you know holds a blue badge, you'll want to pay close attention because while the badge offers valuable benefits for those with mobility issues, it doesn't give free rein to park just anywhere. In fact, there are specific locations where parking is strictly prohibited, and breaking these rules could cost you dearly. Unfortunately, many badge holders aren't even aware of some of these restrictions, and that lack of knowledge can lead to hefty fines or even the loss of your blue badge privileges. So in this video, we're breaking down the 11 places blue badge holders should never, ever park, plus we'll explore where you can park and exactly who qualifies for a blue badge. Stick around until the end so you don't miss a single detail that might save you money or trouble. Let's start by quickly covering what a blue badge actually is. For anyone unfamiliar, the Blue Badge Scheme is a government-run initiative designed to help people with disabilities or long-term health conditions access parking closer to their destination. It's all about making everyday life more manageable, whether you're the driver or just a passenger. Those with physical disabilities, as well as people living with hidden conditions like dementia, autism, or Parkinson's disease, may be eligible. And the badge is often a lifeline, allowing access to free parking in many areas and exemptions from certain restrictions. But here's the catch: while the blue badge unlocks access to a range of helpful benefits, it's not a license to park without limits. There are 11 key locations where parking is off limits for badge holders, no exceptions. And parking in any of these areas can result in fines, penalty points, or worse. So, where exactly should you not park if you have a blue badge? Let's walk through each of the no-go zones. First up, red lines. These are more serious than your typical yellow line restrictions. Blue badge holders cannot park on double or single red lines during their hours of operation, even if it's just for a moment. Red lines are enforced to keep traffic moving efficiently, especially in busier urban zones. Next are loading and unloading bays. Unless there's clear signage stating otherwise, these areas are strictly reserved for commercial vehicles and deliveries. Even with a blue badge, you're not allowed to stop here, especially if it's during restricted hours or there's no indication that badge holders are exempt. Another place that catches people out is when there are temporary parking restrictions. Think about roadworks, special events, or emergency situations. You might see cones, temporary signs, or even markings on the road. These override your blue badge privileges entirely. If the sign says no parking, it means no parking, badge or not. Also, pay attention to yellow markings on the curb. These often appear as 1 or 2 yellow stripes on the edge of the pavement. They're an indication of loading restrictions, and blue badge holders are not allowed to park where these are in place during the restricted hours. It's easy to miss them if you're not actively looking, but they matter. Moving on, we have bus lanes, tramways, and cycle-only lanes. Blue badge holders are not exempt from these restrictions. So driving or parking in one, especially during operating hours, is not only illegal but also potentially dangerous. These lanes are reserved for public transport and cyclists for safety and traffic flow reasons. Then there's the issue of double white lines in the center of the road. Even if one of the lines is broken, parking near or on these lines is strictly off limits. These lines usually indicate areas where visibility is low or it's unsafe to stop. You should also steer clear of parking bays that are clearly reserved for specific groups like taxi ranks or residents-only zones. Even if the bay looks empty, it doesn't mean you're allowed to park there unless there's signage allowing blue badge holders. A big one many overlook is school keep clear markings. These are usually accompanied by yellow zigzag lines and a small sign with operational hours. During those times, no one, including blue badge holders, should be stopping or parking in these zones. It's for the safety of children, and enforcement here is strict. Clearways are another restricted area. These are zones marked with signs that show a red circle with a blue background and a red line through it. They indicate a complete no-stopping zone. Urban clearways, and especially bus stop clearways, are common in city centers and are completely off limits during their operating hours. Also, watch out for suspended meter bays, which can happen due to roadworks, filming, or other events. Even if your blue badge normally gives you access to that type of bay, if it's suspended even temporarily, you cannot park there. You could return to a ticket, or worse, your vehicle might be towed. And finally, pedestrian crossings and the zigzag lines near them are absolutely prohibited zones. These are safety-critical areas meant to keep crossings visible and clear for drivers and pedestrians alike. No vehicle blue badge or otherwise should stop there. Now, even with all these restrictions in place, there are still plenty of areas where blue badge holders can park legally and freely. In fact, the badge is a powerful tool to make life more accessible if you use it correctly. Here are 4 key privileges that badge holders can usually rely on. First, you can park free of charge in designated disabled parking bays on public streets. These spaces are often located close to amenities and entrances to buildings, making it easier to access essential services. Second, you can park on single or double yellow lines, provided there are no loading restrictions and it's safe to do so. Most councils allow you to park for up to 3 hours in these spots, but it's always best to check local signage just in case. Third, you can also use your blue badge to park at pay and display or on street meter bays, without paying and usually without any time limit. That said, private car parks may have their own rules, so check signs carefully. And fourth, badge holders are often allowed to park without a time limit in on-street spaces, even when non-disabled drivers are restricted to an hour or 2. Again, local authorities can vary slightly, but in most areas, your badge grants you extended parking time. So who exactly qualifies for a blue badge? It's not just about visible physical disabilities. If you're aged 3 or over, you automatically qualify for a blue badge if you meet certain criteria. For instance, if you receive the mobility component of personal independence payment, PIP, and have scored at least 10 points under descriptor E, which relates to an inability to undertake any journey due to overwhelming psychological distress, you're eligible. Similarly, people who can't walk more than 50 meters and score 8 points or more under the moving around activity of PIP also qualify. Those receiving the higher rate of disability living allowance, DVLA, the War Pensioners Mobility Supplement, or compensation under the Armed Forces and Reserve Forces scheme, with a certified permanent disability, are also eligible. Beyond that, a wide range of medical and cognitive conditions can qualify someone. For example, you may be eligible if you cannot walk without help or need mobility aids. Walking is dangerous to your health and safety. You frequently experience overwhelming anxiety in public spaces. You have a life-limiting illness with severe mobility issues. You pose a constant risk to yourself or others near traffic. You have significant upper limb disabilities and cannot operate parking machines. You experience intense behavioral responses or lack awareness of your surroundings. You struggle to plan or follow journeys due to cognitive impairments. Children under 3 with specific medical needs, like requiring bulky medical equipment or needing constant access to a vehicle for emergency treatment, may also be issued a badge. So how do you apply? If you live in England, Scotland, or Wales, applications can be made through the official government website. In Northern Ireland, there's a separate application process through NI Direct. The cost varies depending on where you live, up to £10 in England, £20 in Scotland, and free in Wales. Each badge is valid for up to 3 years, after which it must be renewed. So there you have it, a complete breakdown of where blue badge holders can and can't park, who qualifies, and how to apply. While the badge opens up a lot of opportunities and freedom, it's just as important to understand its limits. Parking in the wrong place not only risks a fine but can also lead to losing the badge itself. By staying informed and following the rules, you can make the most of the blue badge system without falling foul of the law. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more practical, real-world advice on mobility, rights, and accessibility. Tap that like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and we'll see you in the next one.